Hey guys, what's up? It's Spartacus here, back for another arena guide, and this time we're going to do the priest class. The last one was pretty successful. I ended up actually going 12-2 with the paladin deck, and priest I consider probably the third strongest class right now behind mage and paladin. It's a very good arena class and has a lot of strong cards, and I'm going to show you what to look for and how to draft priest in particular, and then how to play it. So let's dive right in. Okay, good first pick here. Lightwell is fairly useless in Arena. When I first started the game, I really liked this card, actually. I wanted to make it work, but it does not. Um, Upgraded Repair Bot is actually a very strong card in Arena if you have mechs. And if not, it's still a 5-mana 5/5, so it's not terrible. But this is the first pick, so we're not thinking about synergy right now. Defender of Argus in general is a very strong card. It gives you the ability to have taunts in your deck and also the double buff. Being able to buff a minion that's already on the field is great. Defender of Argus in general is a very strong card in Arena, especially if you can play it on 2 targets on turn 4. You're really in great shape. So Argus it is. Okay, fairly easy pick here. Leper Gnome, unless you're going really, really aggressive, is not a good card in Arena. Flesh Eating Ghoul, I think, is a subpar 3-drop in general, for the most part. And Spellbreaker is Silence, which is usually useful in Arena and has a decent body with it. So, Spellbreaker it is. Okay, another easy pick here. Loot Hoarder is fine, it's a cycle card, and you can play it. It has more benefits than just cycling, because you can play it on turn 2, and sometimes it can trade up. Stormwind Knight is decent removal sometimes. These are both average cards, but Velen's Chosen is really, it's one of those cards why Priest is so powerful. You want to take as many of these as you can. If you have a creature on the board on turn 2, and they don't kill it, and then your turn 3 comes around, and you can buff with Velen's Chosen, you get a huge lead. Especially since you can just keep healing that, and you have the spell damage on top of it on the board, so it can be used for like 3 damage Holy Novas. It's a very powerful card, and it's especially good if you have a lower curve, but I mean, it's early, and in general, it's just a great card. So Velen's Chosen is what we're going to take here. Okay, pick between 2 good cards. Ancient Brewmaster it's an average card in Arena, but Silverhand Knight is a value card. It's 6/6 and stats for 5 mana, which is great. And Mad Bomber it's actually a card that can win you the game. Like in Arena, if you play it early and they have like a 3/2 and it happens to kill that 3/2, if your 2-drop kills their 2-drop while still staying alive, it's a huge advantage. And it can kill 1-drops like Worgen Infiltrators, which are very popular right now in Arena. I'm going to take the Mad Bomber because, in general, it's nice as a priest to have the ability to deal 1 damage to something, because a lot of the times you don't have that ability. So Mad Bomber can do that. So I'm going to take the Mad Bomber. Ooh, this is a tough one. Haunted Creeper is a good card, but I prefer to pick Haunted Creeper in classes that can deal 1 damage, so that you can trade with 3/2s and such. Shrinkmeister is an excellent card. In the early game, it's 3/2, and in the late game, you can use it for good trades. So you can, shrink down things and run your big guy into their big guy and have your big guy survive. Also, I found a lot of synergy, Shadow Word Pain has a lot of synergy with, which is a common card. Shadow Madness, if you get a Cabal Shadow Priest, even a Kodo, some synergy there. And then Thoughtsteal is excellent. It's like an Arcane Intellect, but you take the other player's cards. You don't take them from your deck too, so if it does happen to go to Fatigue, which is rare in Arena, but if it does, then there's that. I actually value Thoughtsteal less than Arcane Intellect because Thoughtsteal, you're taking cards from your opponent's deck, and there might be less synergy with your cards. Not only that, but maybe they have just a crappy deck in general. And Shrinkmeister is just Thoughtsteal is still a good card, but Shrinkmeister is an excellent card. So I'm going to take the Shrinkmeister here. Okay, great. Another Velen's Chosen. Gurabashi I actually value a little higher in Priest because you can keep healing it up as it grows. And Gilblin is an average 2-drop. But Velen's Chosen is just a superior card, so we're going to take it. Oh, wow. Okay, the battle between one of the best 3-drops in the game, one of the best 4-drops in the game. Paladin Shredder, one of the best 4 drops. Dark Cultist, one of the best 3 drops. Whew. There's nothing in the curve so far that indicates which we should take. Although, technically, we don't have any 3 drops yet, because the 2 Velen's Chosens might not be 3 drops if we're behind on the board. I consider these two like a coin flip. I think they're both just really, really good. So I'm going to take the Dark Cultist just because of the fact that we don't actually have any 3 bodies so far, even though it's really early. It's basically just flip a coin and choose whichever one it lands on. You can't go wrong either way. I just wish I could have both of them. Okay, good card here in Northshire Cleric. It is not a card you play on turn 1, but it is a card that can get a lot of value later on. Potentially multiple draws off this card, and if not, you can usually guarantee to get at least 1 draw with it. So we're going to take the Northshire Cleric over the mediocre to bad cards that's up against. Okay, first late game card, Temple Enforcer, excellent card. 6 mana, 6/6, so vanilla, and give a friendly minion +3 health is an excellent battle cry. Can really help you sustain the board, keep your advantage later on. Really strong card, especially up against 2 mediocre cards. Raging Worgen's good in Mage, but that's it. Okay, this is actually an easy choice. This is the one class where you can take a Light Warden and feel alright about it. Illuminator, priests don't have secrets, so it's kind of a below average 3 drop. And Lightwell is just terrible. So it's going to be a Light Warden here. And we have the ability to like play it and then heal something, so you can get like a 1 mana 3/2 out of it at least. And then, I mean, there's been a lot of videos now because of the card Light of the Naru of Light Warden just growing immensely. So it's a good card in Priest specifically. So we'll take it. Okay, so this is a pretty easy pick here. Priests, our hero power doesn't affect our opponent's cards, just ours. I consider the priest hero power does the most to any minion on the board, because most of the hero powers just do 1 minion damage to an opponent, or they don't affect the board. Whereas the Stormpike Commando, whereas the priest hero power heals for 2, so it actually does more than, a ping and stuff like that. But because of that, Priest has a tough time dealing with minions with 1 health, for example, to just get rid of them. That's where the Stormpike Commando is going to come in. It's especially against these 2 cards, which are rather average. In Priest, I value the Stormpike Commando a little bit more. In classes that can't deal the 1 damage, I value it a little bit more. So I'm going to take the Stormpike Commando for some removal, which is what we need. Okay, another tricky pick here. Worgen Infiltrator is one of the best 1-drops in the game. Silverhand Knight is great value. Right now we have a couple 1-drops, one of them that can be played on turn 1. With the Velen's Chosen, I like to have as much early game as possible. And we're going to get late game, but we're not guaranteed to get 1-drops. So I'm going to take the Worgen Infiltrator for that reason. Ooh, powerful card here. Salty Dog and Raid Leader are not powerful. They're mediocre at best. Actually, very poor cards in Arena for the most part. But Shadow Word Death, very powerful, hard removal. Always nice to have 1 or 2 of those. Okay, another easy pick here. Dark Cultist is far superior to these 2 cards, so the Dark Cultist it is. Okay, let's look at how many mechs we have. I don't know if we have any. We don't. We don't have any, so Mech Warper is just vanilla right now. Okay, so that's fine. We don't have many 2-drops yet, but I'm not going to be too concerned about that yet. Power Word Shield is an excellent card. It's basically give a creature +2 health and cycle. So it's just a really powerful card. I really like Power Word Shield in Arena. And we already have 1 Cleric, so we're going to take the Power Word Shield. Okay, easy pick here. Explosive Sheep is really unreliable in Arena. When you're ahead, it's terrible. And we don't have anything to necessarily proc it when we're behind, and I mean, it can get messy. I don't find it a very good Arena card at all. Loot Hoarder is a good card. On turn 2, you can play it and it can trade up, and in general, it cycles itself. So it's a solid Arena card. Inner Fire is usually rather pedestrian. So Loot Hoarder it is. Okay, this is another relatively easy pick. Gold Jar Footman is terrible. Never take it. So it's between the Circle of Healing and the Northshire Cleric. Circle of Healing is better the more Northshire Clerics you have, and my rule of thumb is in general, it's not that good in Arena. It's only very good if you have an Akanai Soul Priest. So I don't take the Circle of Healing unless I have like 3 Northshires or I have a Akanai Soul Priest. So we're going to take another Northshire Cleric. Okay, another easy pick here. Another Shadow Word Death. You don't want too many of them, but having 2 is perfect. And Band Creepers, we can get more 5 drops later. We're only halfway through. So, Shadow Word Death. Okay, this is an easy pick as well. Magma Rager is awful. Throumore Farseer is, well, mediocre. But it's bad. Plumfoot Raptor, 2 mana, 3/2. You can play it on turn 2, which is good for us, especially with the Valens chosen. It makes it seem like we're going to have a little more of an aggressive priest deck here. So, Plumfoot Raptor it is. Oh, wow. Okay, this is a very easy pick. Well, actually, let's see how easy it is. We have actually 3 minions with 1 attack here. Is that it? That's probably it, yeah. That's not that, that's actually a fairly high number to combo with the Hobgoblin. We don't, however, have any, like, AoE or late game removal. In general, Light Bomb is a really, really powerful arena guard, and I'm going to pick it. I just think it's worth considering the other options. Shadow Bomber is awful. But Hobgoblin, I've actually had a lot of success in Arena with Hobgoblin. You have to see how many 1 attack creatures you have, and then once you take a Hobgoblin, then you can value your other 1 attack creatures more. But I'm going to take Light Bomb here. But Hobgoblin, I think, is underrated in Arena, depending on how many you have. I think if you have 5, you should take it in a lot of cases. But in general, still, Light Bomb is an impressive card. It's very good. It is one of those cards that I think it's like a Flame Strike. It's like a Flame Strike. It might even be better, or it might be worse. I'm not sure. In Arena, actually, things tend to have more health than attack, so it's probably a little bit worse. But it is a board clear, which is great. And we need one of those because right now we don't really have any comeback mechanics in this deck. Like, so far, if we're trying to come back in the game, all we have is a Stormpike Commando. Like, if we have nothing on board and they have a few cards, I guess the Shadow Word Deaths as well. So, we need more removal, basically, and Light Bomb is one of the ultimate removal cards in the game. Okay, another easy pick here. It's going to be the Power Word Shield. Windfury Harpies, poor. Money Berserker, we have a fair amount of early game now. We're looking alright, and the Money Berserker's average at best. Okay, so we have a lot of early game. This is tough. Oasis Snapshot's pretty good in Priest because you can keep healing it, and we don't have, we have 2 4-drops, but you can't even play them on turn 4. Like, our whole deck is early. We already have a Silence. Ironbeak Owl in general is poor. While Strickmeister is great, we're going to take the Oasis Snapjaw. Okay, good. Another 4-drop. So we're starting to fill up the curve, make it a little bit cleaner. These 2 cards are fine. They're average for their positions or for their mana cost, but Sungeon Shieldmaster is a great 4-drop. Okay, another Power Word Shield. Especially in this case over these. Like, Power Word Shield, just don't even think about it like as a card. It's just like a cycle, but it gives you a small advantage. And usually you can find spots to fit in 1 mana. It's very powerful. We're going to take it again. Okay, let's see how many Battle Cries we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives Ancient Brewmaster enough value. It's not good. It's not a great card if you're ahead, actually. That's the one problem with it. Darkscale Healer is the other one worth considering. We are a priest, so we need Darkscale Healer less. So that's why I'm probably going to take Ancient Brewmaster. We don't have a lot of late game, though, and I would like some, but Darkscale Healer's stats aren't much better than Ancient Brewmaster, so Ancient Brewmaster has the ability to slow down our deck if we need to slow it down. Okay, oh, if we had taken the Hobgoblin, Echoing Ooze probably would have been a snap pick. Now it's worth it. I think Echoing Ooze is rather poor in Arena, unless you can buff it, and we have 2 buff cards. and that's why I'm going to take it, especially over Enhancer Meccano. I think is just a win more card. I really don't think it's that great of a card. Even in the classes where it's more useful, like Paladin and like Shaman, I think that it's less useful than you think. I think it's just more of a win more card. Like if you're already winning, then it does more. But if you're not, then it really is bad. Echoing Ooze, if we can play it on turn 5 with combination with Velen's Chosen, then we have 2, 3 6s on turn 5. That is really powerful. So plus Devil spell damage. Actually, do we even have any spells that care about spell damage? I guess Light Bomb. Does Light Bomb? I've never tested that. So either way, though, Echoing Ooze is what we're going to take, and it's all right to play on turn 2 as well. Okay. This is the battle of very poor cards. I'm going to take a Circle of Healing because we do have 2 Northshires and Light Warden. Circle of Healing works well with that. Sometimes it's useful. Sometimes it's just giving away a card, though. That's why I don't like it very much, but if we can use it to cycle with our Northshire Clerics, we'll be okay. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, some more late game. I'm going to take the Venture Co. I'm going to take the Venture Co over the Spectral Knight because we really need more heavy hitter. Spectral Knight is a great card, but it's a poor card in Priest. Forgot to mention this. Spectral Knight I would not recommend taking in Priest because Priest hero power is about healing up your minions, and you like to do that as much as you can later on, and Spectral Knight doesn't allow you to do that. So you just can't get as much value out of it as you should. Venture Co is a great card in general in Arena, and you can heal it up. So we're going to take the Venture Co. Especially good with a low curve. Okay. So I like Light Spawn in Arena, but if it gets silenced, it's really bad. Spiteful Smith has good stats. They don't have any weapons, but the stats are pretty good. They're on par. I'm actually going to take Light Spawn because I have the 3 Power Word Shields. Light Spawn gets infinitely better with how many buffs you have. So I have this Power Word Shields. I have the... forgot the Power Word Shields can be used on Echoing Ooze too. I have the Velen's Chosens, and that can really make Light Spawn much more powerful, so I'll take that. But if I didn't, I would take the Spiteful Smith, because having a Light Spawn silenced on turn 4 is a real pain. You fall behind pretty quickly. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, Mountain Giant's out because we're going to be emptying our hand really quickly. I think Fel Reaver's out too. The reason why I think Fel Reaver is out is because this deck is going to go through cards really quickly. I just don't think that... See, I don't know. This is really tough. Having 2 Light Bulbs is a little clunky. Like, that can get in the way. I don't think any of these picks are great. Having 1 Light Bomb's perfect, but having 2 is sometimes just isn't quite worth it. Fel Reaver... So this is a good time to talk about Fel Reaver. It's a really divisive card. I've had a lot of success with it. I've also had instant losses with it. It's a card you play... I think I like playing it on turn 5 personally, with a board I'm a little ahead on, and then they have to remove it, because if not, they're just going to die. And this deck can do that. It'll be ahead on board, it looks like, and then we can just play Fel Reaver to kind of seal it. But sometimes it just screws you, and I think it works more than it doesn't work, but the times it doesn't work feel terrible. I don't have much late game, though. I don't have 5s. I don't have 6s. I'm going to take the Fel Reaver here, because I already have a Light Bomb. If I didn't, I would take the Light Bomb. And this will be good. I can demonstrate how to play correctly with Fel Reaver. You don't want to play Fel Reaver when you're behind, because basically they'll just ignore it, and they'll just keep playing cards or freezing it or doing stuff like that, and they'll just fatigue you, and then you'll die. You want to play Fel Reaver when you're ahead. Even tied on board isn't that great of a time to play Fel Reaver, unless you're desperate. So I'll take Fel Reaver, and I'll hope it works out. Okay, so this is an early game Priest deck, which is rare. Usually, Priest decks can sit back. They're one of those classes that really can play slowly and still be effective at it. But in this case, we're going to play it fast. We're going to be looking for those Velen's Chosens and trying to get them on some Echoing Oozes and stuff like that, and really play aggressively on board, because we don't actually have that much removal. We have removal when they drop big stuff, which is nice, but we don't have removal for... We don't have, like, AoE. We have 1 in Light Bomb. So we're going to be trying to be really aggressive with this deck and take and keep the board, basically. And we'll see how that does against the mages out there. The great part about Priest against mages is that your hero power does double what theirs does, so you can heal up out of range of being pinged or stuff like that. You can manipulate the board in your favor against mage. Okay. But in general, this is a little bit of an unconventional priest deck. Usually it's a little bit slower. You can look how many ones we have. It's all those power word shields. This deck is going to go through itself really quickly. We do have a fair amount of draw. We have the Loot Hoarder and 2 clerics plus the Circle of Healing. So we have a fair amount of draw. We have, a couple finishers, Venture Go, Temple, Forcer, Fel Reaver. And I didn't even look at this. We have small synergy here with the Fel Reaver and the Spellbreaker. It's very small, but it can work. Okay. Let's get it going. Play 2 or 3. We'll see. I really want to demonstrate the Fel Reaver. That's what I really want to do. Let me just take a drink here. Okay. Seems like it's taking a little while. Oh, there we go. So, we're going to be mulliganing for 2 drops here. And keeping Velen's Chosen is based on the rest of our hand. I won't keep it if I have like 2 other 6 drops. But I will keep it if I have a 1 and a 2. There's a 1. And the other 2 we're going to mulligan. Look to get a dice curve. Paladin is in general the worst matchup for Priest in the late game. It's a good curve. Because us healing can't deal with their 1/1s. So that can get annoying. We play the Worgen Infiltrator on turn 1. Let's see what he does. Coin, probably a 2/3. Oh, that's even worse for me. Okay, so in this case, I don't want him to get the free trade on the Loot Hoarder, so I'm going to do the Echoing Ooze. And obviously not attack. We want one of the oozes to pop the shield, and then the Worgen Infiltrator can take out the body. The other option, of course, is just see now. Yeah, see, this is good now. Playing it a little bit slowly here. He is, at least. Let's see what he'll do. Face. Okay. Oh, good. I wanted that over the Loot Hoarder. Loot Hoarder just wasn't strong enough. This is going to be really vulnerable to Consecration, unfortunately, but we'll get this engine down before that. Okay, so kill the body, kill that, play the Raptor. These aren't really worth healing. So this is going to be different because in a lot of Priest decks, you want to just take it slow and heal up your minions. Wow, that is a great counter to my board. Yeah, you kill that. So yeah, you want to take it slow, but in this deck we're not going to. Sejin's good against this board because he has to run the 1/1s into there. Yesterday I had a deck I posted on here, 12-1 Paladin deck that had 2 musters and a Direwolf Alpha. And when I got that in the early game, it was incredible. Because if you think about it, like let's just say I couldn't get rid of these 1/1s. You can just throw down the Direwolf Alpha and kill off this engine by sliding 2 of the recruits in. And then you still have 1 recruit, a Direwolf Alpha. You can put in another dude. It's crazy. It's just so powerful. This card is Muster for Battle is really good. Let's see if he has a Blessing of Kings. That would be his best play here. I would have to Shadow Word Death. He also might have a True Silver. Our hand isn't looking very good to follow this up. Hopefully we can draw into something. Spider Tank. Maybe a secret? Depending on what he does here is really going to influence our play. Divine Shield? Or weird. Telegraph that this is a one, or this card is 1 mana though. Okay, there's a card. I'm going to put that on the Send Gym. Am I? Yes, I am. That way he can't run those two in. Okay. I'm trying to think. Okay, if that's a Blessing of Might or whatever it is, the +3 attack, then he'll no, he won't, because this will be a 3/7. He'll have to hit it with the sword too. Okay. Just have to kind of decide what I want to put this on. I think I actually might put this on the Raptor. Play around Consecration this way. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that's a hell of a draw. This is a very easy decision here. Trade it out. All one health more than Consecration. Very powerful board. You're well ahead here. You can see the problem with Light Bomb in this deck and why I really didn't want to take the second one. This deck is going to be ahead a lot. Middle. Nice. This deck is going to be ahead a lot, and we're not going to be able to use Light Bomb that much. It's kind of something you want to draw in the late game when you're behind. Ordering against this doesn't matter against Paladin, so I don't know why I care so much. I'm kind of I always think about the positioning of my units. So yeah, in Priest, just like now, like you can see how our hero power just becomes so powerful. I mean, it can just really make a huge difference on the board as compared to other classes. Like this is alive, and it wouldn't be in any other class. It's a little bit annoying. This is good though. You can draw more. 2 deaths. This is why you don't want too many Shadow Word deaths in your deck either. It can get a little clunky. If I wanted to see what I draw first, but if I didn't have the option to draw, I would have run that in, so I really buff up my Senjin here. Let's see, do I want... No, I don't want the health to go in the Loot Hoarder, so... Hopefully this goes on the Senjin. If not, it's not the end of the world. Okay, it doesn't. We're going to get a lot of draws off this North Shower, though. You might Consecrate here. Wouldn't be terrible. You could remove 2 of my cards. Again, the advantages of being able to heal. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we're going to draw again. Kill the Flesh-Eating Ghoul first. Always remember that, if you can. Okay, we're just going to want this to cycle. See what else we draw. Another Power Word Shield. Now we can see how these Power Word Shields are just so good. Oh my. Okay, let's do this again. And then let's drop down the Oasis Snapjaw. And now, even because we've cycled so much, we have powerful cards on the board. We have more cards in our hand. It's looking very good. If he drops anything big, we can easily remove it. Just a dominating position here. Okay. Okay. That's something big. He might just concede when we kill this. Very demoralizing. Oh, hey. Actually, I'm not going to play Fel Reaver just to play it, because there's no point in me risking losing this game. We'll get another card. This is why I thought Fel Reaver would be a little bad. You see how far through our deck we got more than him? I was just thinking that Fel Reaver, like our deck is already going to be, we're going to be drawing through it really fast, so we don't need an acceleration of that, but it was better than the other options. Obviously, actually, we could Fel Reaver Spellbreaker next turn, which will be funny, and I'll probably do it. Let's spread out our power a little bit. No, we're so far ahead here, we're going to play around Mind Control Tech, just leave 3 things on the board. A 4/11 is just incredibly difficult to deal with without Polymorph or Hex. Those are the 2 cards that would do it. But I want a Fel Reaver plus Spellbreaker. I don't want to have to Shadow Word Death this. Oh. Okay, I'll just Fel Reaver plus Spellbreaker. This game is unlosable now. Especially if one of those is Redemption, we just silence that off, which is funny. So let's get a nice... Yep, Noble Sacrifice. Sorry, I forgot to say that's what I was playing around by attacking with that first. Then Avenge will pop. If it goes on the 1/1, we kill it. If it goes on this one, we just ignore it. Oh, see, Light Bomb is affected by spell power, it seems. So it would be deal damage to each minion equal to +1 of its attack. Okay, it doesn't really matter which one I hit. Actually, technically it kind of does, but this appears to be over. Hmm. Oh, he'll let me do it. Oh my goodness. Is there a way to... It's a little fun. I don't usually BM, but this will be fun. See, you can see the synergy with the Dorshire, and especially the Light Warden. Circle healing with Light Warden can be very powerful. We can heal that one more. So we death this. Yeah, I think... Oh, wait. And then I can kill it with it. Cool. Taste the light. How does it taste? Okay, that was a bit of a long game, so maybe we'll just do one more. Hopefully draw that Fel Reaver on turn 5. Or maybe hopefully not. I don't even know if I want to play it. I think it might be a bad... Like I was saying, because of how fast the deck cycles through itself, I think it might just be a card I want to avoid seeing. I'm trying to remember what the other option was. It was Light Bomb, Mountain Giant. Oh, I guess Mountain Giant wouldn't have been that. I don't know. I expected this. While I expect to draw a lot, I also expect to have a small hand. I expect to be cycling a lot with the Power Word Shield, so not actually having a big hand for most of the time. I mean, that last game I did at the end, but for most of the game I only had 3 cards. Mountain Giant is just usually poor. The only time you can really take it is in a slow control Warlock Arena deck, which I prefer not to use. I prefer to run fast Warlock decks. Okay, we're gonna, even though it's 1, we don't have any minions. We want to fully mulligan for the early game minions. Hopefully get that Organ Infiltrator again. Okay, 2 and 3. Light Bomb, card we don't want to see. 2, 3, 4. Okay, good enough. thing to know with Echoing Ooze is to not be afraid to trade both of them into a 3/2, for example. It might seem annoying because it's like, oh, I'm trading 2 minions into one, but you're not actually. You're trading like one card for one card, so it's not that bad. Choice here is between Loot Hoarder and Echoing Ooze. I'm going to play the Loot Hoarder because he might hero power it, in which case I keep initiative and I get to play my very strong 3-drop on an empty board. Echoing Ooze, he'd probably just play a 2-drop into it, and then we'd have to... Okay, he's going to coin out something. Plus, we want to save Echoing Ooze for when we have buffs. Yeah, that card is very strong against our Loot Hoarder. Only play. Okay, this is a fairly easy turn here. Oh, now it's actually easier. We're going to play the... Are we going to play the Oasis Snapshot? Yeah, because it can get more... Okay, this is a decision. We got to think about this. So the clear attack here is we're going to be attacking into this because we don't want to give the 2/1 that's going to pop out of here charge. So now it's basically... Do we... We can kind of protect it with this engine. The thing is, I want to guarantee that this gets buffed onto something, and if he attacks in and then he swipes this engine, how upset would I be? He would have a 2/1 on the board, I would have initiative. If I play the Oasis Snapjaw, on the other hand, he can't kill it, probably. He'll be forced, the buff will be forced to go onto it, but how good is that? Like, a 2-attack minion having that much health anyway. I'm going to play this engine. I think it's just the stronger card. And hopefully, and if he does swipe, I don't think I'm that upset because he has to run his Harvest Golem into this engine first anyway. And then hopefully I just draw Velen's Chosen and everyone's happy. Because then I can play Echoing Ooze plus Velen's Chosen. We shall see. Puts him in a bit of an awkward position. Like, you don't want to swipe a 2 health and a 1 health thing. Like, you want to save swipe for something more than that. Power of the Wild. Interesting. This is cute. I can actually put this health onto the Echoing Ooze. Do I want it onto the Echoing Ooze? Probably not, right? I mean, how valuable are what are they? 1/5s? Just a couple of 1/5s? Oh, I can taunt them up. Oh, actually, I want to do that. I can taunt them up next turn. Okay. So it doesn't matter where I put this, because they're just going to be beside each other. Okay, having a couple 2/5 taunts is very powerful. Very annoying. Or 2/6, actually, wow. Too bad I couldn't taunt them up in the same turn I did that, but I can't. Okay, that's fine. We'll just ignore it. Or we could Temple of Force. Throw the 3 health onto that so he can't run into it. Well, he can, but he'd have to use his hero power, which means I get more tempo. Yeah, let's do that. That way I can guarantee killing the bear next turn. These two things will still be... I'll still keep them beside each other so I can make them taunts. Yeah, okay. And then we hold. So against Druid, having Shadow Word Deaths in your hand is fantastic. You want to save them for those Armbarred Protectors. Druid basically wins with the card Armbarred Protector. The more they have, the better the deck is. Because like most decks can deal with like 1. Okay, we're going to have to kill that with the death. But most decks can like deal with 1 Armbarred Protector, but it's very difficult to deal with like 2 or 3. Actually, a buddy of mine had a deck today with like 5 of them in it or something like that. Okay, easy play there. We're going to taunt up these two, protect our Temple Enforcer. 2/6 taunts are so annoying. 6 health is so much health. Like, to get through these to attack any other minion we drop is not going to be fun for him. Wow. Not a card you see that often. Oh, so I want to brew back the Argus, but unfortunately I think I have to run it in. Do I not? I think I have to run it in. The other option is to run in one of the oozes and attack, brew back the Argus, and then play the Argus. I actually like that more. It's more powerful. Although I'd like to play the Argus on the Wasted Snapjaw, but that might be a little too greedy. A lot of choices. Keeping these 4/2s. Yeah, okay. But then we don't get to heal. I mean, I can always brew back something else later, like the Shrinkmeister if I need to. Argus is just so powerful to brew. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stick with this ridiculous play. Then I'm actually gonna play this because I want to taunt that up, so it's a 3/8 with taunt. Good. Okay. I want to see give a minion -2, so it can be your own minions too, which is great. Well, that's good. I can punch through that with ease. Actually, I'm going to have to defender that in order to do it, but that's fine. And then I can... Wait. Let's think about this for a second. Always nice to think about your plays. I'm going to Stormpike Command... Maybe I can Stormpike Commando that and just hit it, but that dies. If I defender these two, then this can trade into that, survive. I can heal it up. Yeah, we're going to do that. I've been playing this really, really fast. I'm going to start playing a little bit slower. Okay. We'll run that in to save our ooze. Because otherwise you just kill our ooze. And then we'll save the Shrinkmeister for when we need it. His health's getting really low. If he can't continue to taunt up, maybe he can taunt that? No. Okay, that's it then. Okay. So it seems like it's going to be a powerful deck. I'll post how many wins it got in the bottom, and if it's 12, I'll probably post more because I celebrate that, and I like to show my thought process behind decks that end up going 12. And this has the possibility to. It might come up a little short. Or it might just do awful from this point on. I guess we'll see. But that's drafting and playing with Priest in Arena. Thanks for watching. Feel free to go ahead and watch my other Arena guides if you enjoyed this or you felt like you learned something from it. I hope you did. And I will see you next time.